None. Apartheid, meaning apartness in Afrikaans, was more than just a word. It was a policy that systematically divided people based on race, creating a society where the color of your skin determined your fate. It was a brutal system of racial segregation enforced by the National Party from 1948 to 1994. The National Party came to power with a platform that promised to maintain white dominance in South Africa, and they did so with ruthless efficiency. Black South Africans were stripped of their basic rights, including the right to vote, own land, and move freely. They were subjected to harsh laws that controlled every aspect of their lives. Forced to live in separate areas, often in overcrowded and underdeveloped townships, Black South Africans faced daily hardships. These areas were deliberately kept under-resourced, lacking basic amenities like clean water and electricity. They even needed passes to move around their own country. These passbooks, known as dompas, were a constant reminder of their second-class status and were used to control and restrict their movements. Schools, hospitals, and even beaches were segregated. The education system was designed to keep Black South Africans uneducated and subservient, while healthcare facilities for them were grossly inadequate. Imagine not being able to sit on the same bench as your mate just because of the color of your skin. Resistance was fierce. People from all walks of life stood up against this injustice, risking their lives and freedom. Nelson Mandela and many others fought tirelessly, facing imprisonment and violence. Mandela, a key figure in the African National Congress, ANC, became a symbol of the struggle for freedom and equality. The world watched in horror as the South African government cracked down on protests with brutal force. Images of police violence and repression shocked the global community, but the spirit of resistance burned brightly. International pressure mounted as people around the world joined the fight, organizing protests and rallies to show their support. Sanctions, boycotts, and global protests amplified the voices of those fighting within. Countries imposed economic sanctions, and companies pulled out their investments, isolating the apartheid regime. By the late 1980s, the cracks in the apartheid regime were showing. The relentless pressure from both inside and outside the country made it increasingly difficult for the government to maintain its oppressive policies. In 1990, Mandela was released after 27 years in prison. The tide was turning. His release marked the beginning of the end for apartheid as negotiations for a new, democratic South Africa began. By 1994, apartheid was dismantled and Mandela became South Africa's first black president. But the scars remain. The legacy of apartheid still affects the country, with deep economic and social inequalities persisting. The fight against inequality continues. South Africans today are still working to heal the wounds of the past and build a more just and equitable society. Remembering apartheid isn't just about the past, it's a lesson for the future. It's a reminder of the dangers of racism and the importance of standing up for human rights. Equality ain't just a dream, it's a necessity. Thanks for watching. Let's continue to learn from history and strive for a world where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history. Cheers, folks!